At this point, anything collaborating with Wham will help me survive this Christmas year. As always, follow my social media accounts at It's Lielers on Instagram, Threads, and X. And follow me on TikTok at Lielers. Lielers on TikTok. So far, I did posted a video again. This one is just giving an update on the Ghost merch. So for those that do not know, definitely go listen to my Ghost Re-Imperator episode that I did where they feature Amon Amarth in the tour. I got to go there and it is considered this year's most listened to episode. Thank you so much for those that have listened to. For those that do not know, on that episode, I was on a mission when I went to Ghost to get myself and Cosmo a pop-up plushie that they were selling on the merch stands. Unfortunately, during that time, they sold out. The lines were long and everybody was, trying to get their hands on there. On TikTok, I posted a merch update saying that the pop-up plushies are now officially in stock. So, lucky for me, I managed to get 2 of them now. So now me and Cosmo both have our own pop-up plushies. Yay! So we're definitely happy, and this year is not officially ruined, I guess you would say. We're happy. We finally got the last thing we wanted for Christmas, so yay. Thank us. But if you guys have not had a chance to get yourself a Papa plushie, definitely go visit Ghost's merch website to get yours now while you can before they sell out once again. So definitely follow me on TikTok too. So I did do that update. But yeah, no, definitely do so. We're still at 461 followers. But again, like I said, I want to reach that 500 milestone and then I can just stop saying, hey, what do you call it? Follow me now. But anywho, we have a lot to cover on this episode. And yes, as you can see on the title, it's a lot. Like a lot. We have movie news, gaming news. Of course, the Game Awards has finally happened. So we're going to talk about the winners. We have television and more pop culture moments. And then we're going to wrap it up with wrestling. So let's go ahead and get this show started. For those that do not know, and I did not actually say that we have music news, so we'll go ahead and kick it off right now. So I was at work literally this past week. I was just minding my own business, and all of a sudden, I have my emails and whatnot. I get an email from Amon Amarth, and I was like, when did I subscribe to Amon Amarth, updates and God knows what? And I was like, well, let's see what's it all about. So Amon Amarth actually made an announcement that they are going back on tour, and they have basically a really nice setup for the bands that they're joining with. They're joining forces with Cannibal Corpse, Obituary, and Dallas, Texas' own Frozen Soul. They're literally kicking off the tour in Albuquerque, New Mexico, so that's nice. They're going to be coming here in Houston, of course. They're going to be at the Bayou City Music Center. For those that do not know, Houstonians know. It's literally a great venue in literally right next to downtown, but it's technically in downtown. I've been to it before, so it's a definitely good ass venue for those that love heavy metal music. Definitely want to have a good time. I highly recommend for you guys to go check out Amon Amarth. So yeah, they're going to be there. And I'm pretty sure some of you guys are wondering, is Lielers going to be there? You will see. But yeah, that was one quick music announcement that I wanted to make. So definitely go check it out. Tickets are now on sale for those that are interested in going. And again, it's small venues, so that could mean tickets might sell out fast. So definitely go get yours now. Now, we have a lot of Godzilla news. Of course, for those that do not know, my last episode I got to review Godzilla -1. That movie is still ranking up there to, for the US box office. Of course, it wasn't gonna break the record or anything because again, Beyonce's Renaissance tour film is out, and that one is the one that's doing the best in the box office. However, Godzilla -1 has been, I guess you would say, one of the most successful foreign films to this day so far. And because of that, they are extending their release date for the movie. Therefore, if you guys have not had a chance to check out Godzilla Minus One, definitely do so. I checked for the tickets, and I know for sure by at least by Thursday, only one movie theater will be showing it. So right now, all movie theaters are showing Godzilla Minus One. Definitely go get it. You have until Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, until Thursday. After Thursday, only one movie theater will show Godzilla Minus One. And it's all the way in Katy, by the way. It's called the Alamo Draft House if you're from Houston. I know it varies from cities. So definitely do not miss out your chance to watch this movie. I was talking to a few of my friends, like my old coworkers, but they're my friends now. And they were asking me too, is like, was it really that good? And I told them, this movie by far is my favorite Godzilla film. So it said a lot. And, one of my friends was saying, like, because she's a big Marvel fan. And I told her, I'm like, compared to every Marvel movie that I've seen, including Endgame. And she's like, including Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And I'm like, yeah, including Guardians, this movie's my favorite. And she's like, that says a lot. So I don't know if she hasn't seen it, but I hope she does. But yes, no, definitely go watch it while you can. Now, what I didn't get to announce was that during the second, I actually got to see this film the second time. And when this was on Sunday, literally afterwards, this was after I recorded the episode from last week. Everything was getting, edited and everything and uploaded. I found out that the Godzilla and Kong movie, basically known as the New Empire, the trailer has been released. And I was like, oh my god. Right now, it's a really good time to be a Godzilla fan. We have Godzilla Minus One. We got the trailer for the new Godzilla movie, or Godzilla and Kong. And we are also streaming on Apple TV Plus, Monarch, basically the new Legacy. And so this is just Godzilla content everywhere. I'm happy to be alive and to be seeing all of this. So it's just wow. Okay, so I do wanted to talk about the trailer really quick, and there's so much in here that I don't even know how to start, because when I saw the trailer, I basically got Planet of the Apes vibes. It was like, are you sure this is a Godzilla movie? Because, yeah, if you guys have not seen Godzilla vs. Kong, definitely go do so. Again, I also did review that on one of my episodes here on the podcast. Now, we do end up how Kong, ends up. And, it's a really great way to end the story. So basically, we know that the New Empire movie, like, I guess I'll just call it that. The New Empire movie is basically going to be leading off of the events from Godzilla vs. Kong. So you're seeing Kong, and again, this trailer is available for you to watch. So this trailer, you see Kong enjoying and exploring what is known as the center of the world, and you can see how center it is because you can see the gravitational pull from both sides of the world, whether if you're from the north or from the south area inside the center of the world, where you can just easily jump off, and then the gravity just goes from that direction where you're at. So by that scene, by that being said, now you get to see Kong, but then it turns out that, they discover that there is a new species similar to Kong, maybe larger. And now we're just like, oh my god, there's a new predator, obviously, in that center of universe. Not only that, we also see what appears to be Kong Jr., and he's all cute and adorable, but again, I'm just like, is this a Planet of the Apes movie? Now, we did get to see Godzilla, of course. However, he does get a new look. And some people took on social media to put out their little opinions, whether they approve of it or not. And again, keep in mind, and I said this before in my last episode, Godzilla Minus One is completely different and separate from the legendary monsterverse, from what we call it. So Godzilla does appear to be like nesting, trying to, regenerate himself, because again, him and Kong literally went on to defeat Mechagodzilla, from what we know. And so now Godzilla is evolving into this pink radioactive heat wave. And now again, I'm over here like, why pink? And it does give homage to, or homage, sorry, to one of the older Godzilla movies. So you can start, referencing and whatnot. And it's funny because I'm actually looking at one of my figurines. I do have a figurine where Godzilla's heat spikes are actually pink. So I'm like, okay, never mind. There is that reference. However, because of this, again, everybody just went ahead and threw all their shit on social media, which we will get to that in a bit. And not only that, we also do get to see that Kong and Godzilla do team up to go up against this new predator in this movie. It's not Kong Jr., it's, you see it on the trailer. However, when we see that team up, we do get to see two things. One of them we got to see, if you do not know, and again, go watch the trailer. Kong happens to have like a mechanical arm, kind of like the Luke and Anakin Skywalker treatment. And you're probably wondering, maybe he got injured into battle. Maybe this is something for him to, to kind of have like the upper hand. I see what they did, that pun intended. But from what we saw in Godzilla versus Kong, Kong had an axe with him to battle Godzilla, and that axe was made from one of Godzilla's spikes. Now here with this mechanical arm, we don't know what could have happened. Again, some people are just saying who gave Kong the Thanos gauntlet or something like that. And again, we'll get into that in a bit. But we not only just see that, but we also see Godzilla running. And I'm like, what's going on? Hold up. I haven't seen Godzilla run since Godzilla versus Kong, but then again, me personally, I'm over here like, they're getting a little bit out of hand. But as soon as I said that, I start to realize, wait a second, we have seen older Godzilla movies where it also gets out of hand. If you know, you know. Especially that one scene where Godzilla is literally about to go up against one of the kaijus and he's using his tail to levitate himself off, and then he just kicks the person with both of his feet. If you know what clip I'm talking about, yeah, that's one. And I'm just like, well, if they can do it in those movies, and those were the Japanese movies, by the way, pretty sure Legendary is like, okay, we can do it too. So again, Godzilla running, I guess, but they made memes out of that too. Now, besides from that little clip that I wanted to talk about, there's a certain clip where Godzilla, how I mentioned earlier, it looks like he's like regenerating himself, trying to, get himself stronger, and of course turns into the pink radioactive heat that we have seen. Some people are saying rumors that there is a possibility that we're gonna be getting Space Godzilla. And me, I'm like, again, this is the MonsterVerse. I am open for all of these kaijus, but I'm like, is Space Godzilla really confirmed? And little by little, we do know that eventually these plans that they were thinking about doing for Legendary, it's been like scheduled for so many years. We're talking maybe over since like 2014 Godzilla came out. So we're almost at 10 years. It's a 10-year plan where supposedly eventually these movies were going to lead off to a movie called Destroy All Monsters. And with that being said, there is a possibility that we're eventually going to be getting Destroyer himself. And we're not ready for that, of course. So I'm over here like, if Space Godzilla is confirmed in this movie, Destroyer is eventually gonna be in there as well. So I'm scared. Another kaiju that there's a possibility that might be in the new Empire movie is gonna be Angrius, I think, if I'm pronouncing it right. So that's another possibility. I'm excited for it. I mean, we have already seen, like, if you have not seen Godzilla King of Monsters, we're already seeing Mothra, Rodan, King Ghidorah on there. And honestly, that was probably one of my favorites to see. And then Mecha Godzilla, we got to see him in the Godzilla versus Kong movie. However, there has been clips on my TikTok, thank God, that people are saying that maybe these little kaijus are over there warning Godzilla like he's coming for you. And one of them was Ghidorah warning Godzilla, "Oh yeah, he's coming for you." Mecha Godzilla's like, "Hey, just so you know, he's coming for you." And Godzilla's like, three dots at the bottom, "Who's coming for me?" And eventually leading off to Destroya. And for those that do not know, some people have made like fan artworks of Destroya in comparison to Godzilla. Destroya is this huge ass monster, probably the size of the Empire State Building times two, maybe, So I'm ready. We just got to watch out for what's going on out there. And again, once this trailer came out, the memes were massively hilarious to watch. For me, it was like, for example, one person called Godzilla the new look as Barbenheimer, which is hilarious because it's literally radioactive atomic bomb, whatever it is, but pink. And that's exactly what we did with Barbenheimer. Another one, they also did make a meme, like for example, this Ken is a monster, and they just inserted Godzilla's, like himself with the pink radioactive heat wave spikes. So I'm like, oh my god. Another one is basically Godzilla's full potential and evolution to Dragon Ball Z. Homeboy literally went from Super Saiyan to, I don't even know what you guys call it. I'm not that big of Dragon Ball Z, but you know what I mean. It's like Vegeta when he has the pink hair. That's basically what it is now. So there's that. Again, how I mentioned, somebody was like, who gave Kong the Infinity Gauntlet because of the thing that he had in his hand. Another one is basically saying these gender reveals are getting out of hand, and all you see is Godzilla with the blue radioactive heat wave, and then now the pink one. So I'm like, if I ever do have kids, I'll probably do that Godzilla style, like bring out Godzilla, whether if it's blue or pink, and then kind of like fight it out. I don't know. That's kind of cringe if you ask me, but it's hilarious how the internet just reacts to all of this. But these are the things I just wanted to point out for the new Godzilla trailer. So rumor has it that this movie's gonna come out eventually this year. Hopefully. It just said coming soon, so I'm over here like, you know. But I'm excited. Again, I am obviously gonna compare it to Godzilla minus one, but I'm pretty sure there's no way it will be Godzilla minus one. Like, I mean, I love all Godzilla movies, but again, minus one just took the cake. And then I also did get to see the most recent episode of Monarch, Legacy of Monsters. And if you guys have not done so, there is a reference to Godzilla minus one on there, but it's not like a connection. It's just a reference. Like they say something and I'm just like, I see what they're doing. But at the same time, I'm like, legendary? Have you known all along? Let me find out. Now, I need to address the big elephant in the room because I talked about it in the intro of my last episode and we need to talk about it now. We're moving aside from movies and now we're going to talk about gaming. And what we're going to be talking about is GTA 6. Everybody was freaking out to know that the trailer got released hella earlier than what we were expecting. The trailer was set to release literally on Tuesday, December 5th. And because of the anticipation, the excitement, somebody kind of managed to leak it out. And because of that, Rockstar had no choice but to release it early. So we got to see the trailer literally Monday night. And everybody's reactions were going nuts. All the references, all the comparisons, the hype was basically there. So let's go ahead and talk about what was in there. The trailer itself was basically like it was featuring a bunch of real life moments, and it's not just any kind of moments. I'm calling it ratchet moments. You know, of course you have seen like a girl on the top of a car just twerking as is driving off. You know, somebody that some guy who they want to consider maybe redneck or God knows what, just in his American flag thong but spraying his lung. So there's that. somebody pulling a gator out of a pool, kind of stuff like that. Is the little ratchet moments that, that makes GTA 6 very, very entertaining and fun. However, we do get to see that this story, obviously, or everything else, all focuses on a female lead known as Lucia. So forget Franklin, forget everybody that we have seen in GTA 5 and before. It's a whole different story, but again, the new lead is a female. A lot of people though will say is like, who's gonna play the campaign again? Not a lot of people play the campaign when it comes to GTA. They go straight to GTA online and make a name for themselves. But there are the few that do actually play the campaign, and it's very entertaining. It's a very interesting story, and it keeps everybody up in their toes. So it's something that people want to consider. And a lot of people are fans of Lucia, actually. They already know that she could carry on the GTA game, and this is pretty good to hear. Another thing is that it is confirmed that Vice City is getting an upgrade. It is basically Vice City just revampinized, modernized. You get to see more good things, but it's not just that. Of course, it is saying that it's taking place in the state of Leonida, if I'm saying it right. But obviously everything gets resembled from Miami, Florida. So forget the West Coast. Now they're going to the East Coast, and I'm over here like, y'all could have done, here, like in Houston maybe. But hey, but here's the other thing. Not only that, like they started getting not just everything that was from Florida and putting it into the game. They also got like a few little things that happen in there in Florida, like for example the Florida Joker. And for those that do not know, like we've seen him, he's, I guess, a criminal, notorious criminal. But a lot of people, when they see him, they reference him as the Florida Joker because of his tattoos and the way how he looks. He did say, however, like when he saw the trailer and he's like, Rockstar, we need to talk. And one person was like, hey, you could do all you want, but, they're basically Rockstar knows their way to say, hey, we're not going to pay for using your face, because I guess they've done it before with other people. And, no matter what, if Florida Joker wants a cut, he's probably not going to get it, because Rockstar's legal team is prepared for that, and they will find ways to say, nah, you're like, this is our image. That's how we go. I think if you guys remember GTA 5, we probably had like, I want to say it was Lindsay Lohan that was the one that said that when you start up the game, you see the bikini model on there, and supposedly she claimed that it was her, and nobody saw that resemblance. But still, it's like, well, Rockstar basically got prepared for that, so they were like, you know what? No. So anywho, besides that, we also know that the map from GTA 6 is gonna be obviously bigger than GTA 5. Like, I remember when I started playing GTA 5, I want to say I only probably explored maybe 75% of the map. There's still that 25% that I still haven't explored, and I'm just like, oh my god. And I've seen clips on TikTok where people are like, oh, have you visited here? If you do, you're gonna see this and that. And I'm just like, I haven't. And it's like tempting me to turn on the Xbox already. Like just talking about it right now just makes me want to turn it on and explore even more. It's like one of my ways to escape the reality that I live in here. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't have time. I mean, again, if I wasn't doing the podcast, I would probably be playing GTA. So there's that. But yeah, so imagine just seeing GTA 5 map just twice as bigger, and you're probably just like, yeah, it's gonna take you forever to explore that map, but it's gonna be worth it. Now, besides that, they did confirm that the game will be available on PS5 and Xbox Series X and S. So I'm like, well, I need to upgrade my freaking consoles. I still have the old consoles. Hell, I was considering on selling my consoles because, again, I barely game anymore. But however, I would suggest for those that that have not been gaming, of course, don't bother buying the new consoles until 2 more years, because that is when GTA 6 will be released. It is expected in 2025. Everybody started freaking out because people just assume that they're going to be dead by then. I don't know why. Shit can happen. However, I feel like with this extended release date that we're gonna have, not obviously not trying to rush it out, I would like, we get it. We've been having GTA 5 for how long? Literally almost 10 years. And this is a great motivation for a lot of people to stop doing stupid shit. Don't end up in jail. Don't drink and drive, Be good, behave, stay, like, hang in there, because you don't want to be saying, "Oh, I died before GTA 6 got released." Like, come on, people. Some people even also joked around saying, "Hey, y'all, like, y'all, this is the time to get your girls your people pregnant, your girlfriend's pregnant, so that way when GTA 6 gets released, you get an extended leave or whatever, basically parental leave, but for dads." And I'm just like, ugh. I'm like, you guys are gonna create a whole new generation. And I was just talking about Gen Alpha not too long ago too, so I'm like, oh my god. And the next thing you know, it's not even gonna be Gen Alpha after that. It's gonna be Gen GTA. Oh my god. Don't quote me on that, or actually quote me on that. Give me credit for that if somebody starts using that. "Oh, what gen are you?" "Oh, I'm Gen GTA. My parents had me because GTA 6 was gonna come out." Wait, and then whenever that generation gets older, they turn into our age. They're not even gonna know what GTA is. Oh god, that's even worse. But anywho, but yeah, hopefully a lot of us are still hanging on for that year. Me personally, I'm not excited for 2025, but I'm not gonna state the obvious. If you guys know how to do math and know, about me and God knows what, you might know why I'm not looking forward for 2025. But other than that, I would say, hey, if that's the case, when 2025 does end up, getting here, I will probably consider going back to gaming. We will see. Even if God knows how my life's gonna be. Anything can literally happen, not even in a year, but in 2 years. I remember, like, there was one point in my life, like, for example, like right now, a year ago, I know how I was feeling. And usually I would say, like, if you think you're having it wrong now, wait till next year, because last year I was in my depression point for reasons I will not disclose. But now I'm like, I feel much better. So I'm like, okay, things do change, and I'm hoping that in 2 years it would still get even better. So let's just hope. Let's just hope that in 2 years I'm probably having a successful podcast. Let's just pray and hope. Besides that, we also did get to see that the song that was featured in GTA 6 was Tom Petty's "Love Is a Long Road." And because of that, that song got streamed so much and it gained so much popularity thanks to the trailer. So now it's a hit. So Tom Petty's probably happy for that. But besides that, that kind of like just wraps up on GTA news. So let me know in the comments if you're gonna be behaving for this coming year, for 2024. We're already about to end this year, so we basically have a long year to behave, be good citizens, and basically put it in your bucket list. Do not die. Don't die before GTA 6. Let me know if you're willing to do that. If you're watching on YouTube, obviously you can leave the comments underneath the episode on the podcast. If you're listening elsewhere, just visit YouTube. You never know. Or follow me on my social medias and let me know. But anywho, on a lesser note, for gaming as well, I know I did mention on another episode that Fortnite was collaborating with the invisible characters. But now it was also confirmed that Lego is collaborating with Fortnite. And I'm over here like, what? Like, I hate to acknowledge Fortnite, because how is that a thing still? Like, even Among Us already went by and not a lot of people talk about it and whatnot. But Fortnite, really? But again, same thing like GTA, people are still going to play Fortnite. So there's that. I'm not surprised. So anywho, that was something I just wanted to point out and whatnot. Now, besides the gaming part, we are going to be talking about the Game Awards. IGN actually sent me like the broadcast invitational where they update you on the list and whatnot of the winners and what's being announced. Obviously, the Game Awards was streaming on YouTube. It's just basically streaming online. It wasn't on a news channel or on a cable channel or anything. But still, I heard it wasn't worth watching. I didn't get to watch it, but it wasn't worth watching it because it was more like announcements, performances besides the main thing where you're getting the awards. And I'm like, well, I mean, there wasn't that many categories to begin with. So, for those that do not know, I did announce the nominees on a previous episode, but now I get to announce who won. Unfortunately, my predictions were not the ones that I was expecting. I was like, oh, this person's going to win Game of the Year, and you will be surprised to know who actually won Game of the Year. So let's go ahead and get started with the lesser notes, of course. Player's Choice was won by Baldur's Gate 3. And if you guys don't know, I call Baldur's Gate like the furry game because that's the game where you can have sex with animals, especially a bear. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with the world? But I heard people that do play it, that it did gave a good storytelling and whatnot. And I'm just like, interesting. I'm still not going to play the game. I won't even bother watching the gameplay because it just, I don't know, it gives me the if. It's like I can't even describe it. It's just a if. But anywho, moving along, best adaptation, and this is basically celebrating game-inspired projects across entertainment, including TV, movies, comics, and more. And this one was actually so many nominees in here. Like for example, Twisted Metal was in here. That's who I was rooting for. The Super Mario Bros. Movie was also here. Gran Turismo was also in this category. The winner went to The Last of Us, though. And I'm not going to argue with that. The Last of Us was a really great show. They did say, I want to say they're not going to be filming The Last of Us anytime soon. They're trying to basically settle down the Pedro Pascal movement, but I'm like, why? This is a perfect time to actually do the show so Pedro Pascal continues to be popular. But anywho, we'll talk about that. Along with this, since I already talked about Twisted Metal, in the Game Awards, they did announce that they have confirmed season 2 for Twisted Metal, and I could not be any more excited. I really did love season 1. Samoa Joe did a really great Sweet Tooth character on there. If you guys have not done so, it is available to stream on Peacock for the first season. So I'm excited to see season 2. I cannot wait. I need more Sweet Tooth, just so y'all know. And then we also have most anticipated game. For those that do not know, the nominees were Hades 2, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, Star Wars Outlaws, Tekken 8, but the winner went to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. So, yay for them. I was not, I'm not shocked. It's Final Fantasy. And I think I said that in the last episode. Best esports teams. That one went to JD Gaming. Never heard of him. Best esports game went to Valorant. For those that know, no. Best esports events went to the 2023 League of Legends World Championship. So I'm like, okay, well, that makes sense. Best esports coach went to Christine Porter Chi. Best esports athlete was Lee Faker Sang Huan. I cannot pronounce that last name, sorry. Content creator of the year went to Iron Mouse. Best multiplayer game. Now this one I was like, I was wondering like if Call of Duty was gonna be in here, but nope, they didn't even get nominated to anything on here, and I have something to say about that. If you know, you know. But the nominees for best multiplayer game was Diablo 4, Party Animals, Street Fighter 6, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, but the winner went to Baldur's Gate 3. So that is their second win, if you're keeping up with that. Best sim or strategy game went to Pikmin 4. That's a Nintendo Switch game. Best sports slash racing game went to Forza Motorsports. Best family game went to Super Mario Bros. Wonder, which, that's no stranger to that. Best fighting game went to Street Fighter 6. And I'm like, oh yeah, Kenny Omega's celebrating on this one. And I was surprised that they beat Mortal Kombat 1. That was the first. Best RPG went to Baldur's Gate 3. I'm like, that's already the third winner. Best action adventure game went to The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. So, again, no surprise there. Best action game went to Armor Core 6. Innovation and accessibility went to Forza Motorsport. Best VR slash AR game went to Resident Evil Village. Best community support went to Baldur's Gate 3. Yeah, I was surprised. And this one is for recognizing a game for outstanding community support, transparency, and responsiveness, inclusive of social media activity and games updates and patches. I'm telling you, the furry community. I swear. I swear. Anywho, best mobile game went to Honkai Star Rail. Best debut indie game went to Cocoon. And best indie game was Sea of Stars. Best ongoing game was Cyberpunk 2077. And I mean, I'm not surprised. And you know what's crazy? And the nominee category included Fortnite. And I'm like, y'all lost. But yeah, Cyberpunk is still ongoing, regardless of, the very floppy release that it got, and the way how, and what I mean by floppy is because of how many glitches that game had. It had an intense glitch, but yet people still wanted to support not only Keanu Reeves, but the game itself because it was hella entertaining. I haven't played it because of those glitches, so I never got the opportunity to experience it. However, based on the storyline and just the ability to explore anywhere you can go, definitely worth for them to win. So thank God they won. Games for Impact went to Tchia. Best performance went to Neil Newborn for Baldur's Gate 3. So this one is to award an individual for voiceover, acting, motion, and or performance capture. So I want to say he's the one with the white hair. He's the one that has sex with animals. Well, I'm saying in the game, not in real life. I'm pretty sure the actor himself. He looks pretty handsome, by the way. The actor himself, yeah. But still, I'm like, ooh, okay. So far, Baldur's Gate community, they're winning everything. Ugh. Anywho, best audio design went to Hi-Fi Rush, and then best score and music went to Final Fantasy 16. Best art direction went to Alan Wake 2, along with best narrative went to Alan Wake, along with best game direction went to Alan Wake. So they got 3 back to back right there. But the moment y'all been waiting for was who won Game of the Year. Again, this is recognizing a game that delivers the absolute best experience across all creative and technical fields. The nominees were Alan Wake's 2, my personal favorite, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4 Remake, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Unfortunately, the winner went to Baldur's Gate 3. And again, I got to see a lot of people on the comments for that. Everybody agreed. Those who played the game absolutely agreed that this game did deserve Game of the Year. So, me personally, I'm not going to say go play it. But hey, if the Game Awards said go play it. And this is, again, fans voted for this game specifically. So if they say it's good to play, go play it. I'm not playing it though. Anywho, of course we did get the announcement during the Game Awards that there's gonna be a DLC for God of War Ragnarok, the Valhalla DLC. And now that we're talking on God of War, let me just say something. The actor who plays Kratos, he actually went to go, I guess he wanted to present one of the awards, and I believe I didn't get to see the last game of the year or Game Awards show, and he had a really long speech, but he was like coming this year saying, no, my speech is not going to be that long, compared to last year. But fun fact, that was like, it was longer than Call of Duty's campaign. And he was throwing shade at not only Call of Duty but Activision as well. And he acknowledged too right afterwards, saying, now that's a company I know I'm not working for. And I'm like, damn, So but yeah, that's something that happened over there. I mean, again, whether people love or hate Call of Duty, nobody plays the campaign. I know for sure Modern Warfare 2, the most updated one that got released last year, it was an interesting campaign, but a lot of people didn't play it. Everybody goes straight to multiplayer, if you ask me. So that is basically the winners of the Game Awards for this year. Now, moving along, we got to talk about television. There's so much. Again, I mentioned we are getting Twisted Metal Season 2, so that is something I am excited about. I am praying and hoping that this does come out this coming year, in 2024. Because season 1 left me in a great anticipation, and I'm ready to see them officially kicking off what is known Twisted Metal. So yeah, I cannot wait. We also got the House of the Dragon trailer, and we basically have Blood for Blood and Fire to Fire. If you know the story of how the Dance of the Dragon ends, you probably already know what to expect for this. If you guys have not seen season 1, definitely go do so that way you are ready and prepared for season 2, of course. It is also reported that House of the Dragon will have 4 seasons. So we're basically going to be halfway there of the storyline. Season 2, it is set to release this coming summer in 2024. If you guys have not seen the trailer, definitely go check it out. Again, I unfortunately know the story. I know how it's going to end, but I cannot wait to see it now in real life. And I'm praying and hoping it's really good. And probably much better than Game of Thrones. Again, we're still waiting for the book to finish to see if the ending is much more better in the book than the show, because a lot of people still don't agree. And also, this is something aside from Game of Thrones now. Remember how I mentioned in the last episode, there is a possibility that they were going to do like the Boys spinoff, but taking place in Mexico. It looks like it's getting a little bit confirmed. So it's a rumor / confirmation coming from my end that the spinoff will feature Diego Luna. For those that do not know, he's from the Andor or Rogue One movie from Star Wars, and Gael Garcia Bernal. And they're gonna be New Mexico's superheroes. And I'm like, okay, wait. I'm like, and when I say that, I'm like, okay, New Mexico the state, or New Mexico, like basically Mexico but just much better? Is that what they're calling it? I don't know what it is, but I feel like this spinoff is gonna be really good. As a Hispanic, I'm ready for it. I'm really excited. Hopefully they release the trailer soon, so that way we can talk about it in a bit. And then remember how I mentioned about The Last of Us. Now, The Last of Us Season 2 is confirmed to set to release in 2025. So 2025, not only we're going to get GTA 6, we're going to get The Last of Us with Papi Pascal. So, again, Pedro Pascal fans, hang in there. We got 2 more years. But anywho, other than that, we also have other pop culture moments that happened this past week. For example, one of my favorites is Variety Magazines does Actors on Actors and give us this astonishing collabs that we as fans or movie fans have been waiting for. For example, we've been talking about Barbenheimer. I talked about Barbenheimer literally on one of my episodes, and I just mentioned it right now when I was talking about Godzilla. Basically, Variety decided to reunite Cillian Murphy and Margot Robbie, and they get to talk about Barbenheimer. There is a mention, supposedly Margot saying that, I think Christopher Nolan reached out to her saying to move the release date for Barbie so it doesn't interfere with Oppenheimer. But Margot was like, if you're worried about the release date, you move yours, because they don't want to move theirs. However, I feel like Barbenheimer was definitely a need, because, again, not a lot of people were dedicated enough to watch two movies on one release date. If the pandemic never happened, we were going to have that with Keanu Reeves. We were going to have both John Wick 4 and The Matrix releasing on the same date. And that was something I was willing to do, watch both movies. But no, the pandemic ended up shifting those release dates, and that didn't happen. But with Barbenheimer, it was something I got to do. It was a pretty fun experience. However, if you guys ever do manage to do a Barbenheimer, I highly recommend for you to watch Oppenheimer first and then Barbie, because I swear to God, Oppenheimer left me all depressed. And I believe it's already, both movies are already out for y'all to watch, like, at home and not in movie theaters. But definitely do go watch it. Along with this whole interview, Cillian Murphy, and Margot Robbie are having like these casual conversations. It's really entertaining to watch. For example, like Cillian Murphy didn't know what a meme was. He has teenager boys and explain like the Barbenheimer meme and all of that. And Margaret is like, what, I also did love Margaret just supporting Killian all over, because she was basically talking about his works, saying how she also watched Peaky Blinders, and she's like, I'm a fan of yours. I love her for that. And I also did not know Margot Robbie listens to heavy metal music. Homegirl literally named like Slipknot and all of those bands like of music that she listens to, and I'm like, hell yeah, this is why I love her even more. That's why I go support Barbie. I don't care if it's a pink ass movie. I hate the color pink, but I support Margot Robbie. Anything for her. But anywho, besides them two, these two iconic pairs, we also got a Devil Wears Prada reunion with Emily Blunt and Anne Hathaway. And you're probably wondering, Lielers, you watch Devil Wears Prada? And I'm like, of course! I actually got to watch it recently because it was on my TikTok feed. People would just like put movie clips, and I'm pretty sure for those that do have TikTok, you will get those random video clips or movie clips, and you're just wondering, what movie is this? And you'll put it in the comments. I've seen the Devil Wears Prada's like clips before, but I never got interested into the story until I saw it on my TikTok. And I watched the movie and I loved it, obviously. We see not like a tomboyish girl, but a girl who doesn't know fashion. I don't know anything about fashion, but I'm like, if I was ever in this girl's shoes, who is Andrea, which is played by Anne Hathaway, if I was in Andrea's shoes, I would have been like, let me do that upgrade. I would consider it, honestly, if I was working in fashion. However, I don't think fashion will ever hire me. Anywho, but we had that little reunion, and they're talking about little clips, little moments that they did while they were filming the movie. And one of them, for example, like Emily Blunt, and I remember if her and Anne Hathaway met before or during the set, and Anne was like, I remember, we met before, and she was like an absolute fan of Emily, like, because when Emily was rehearsing for the movie, I guess Emily wasn't just there, and Anne Hathaway was already up there. I guess she already filmed like The Princess Diary, for example, but she adored Emily because she had that British accent, and she's like something that they needed. And so like they're just talking about it, talking about the movie, and I'm just like, yes. So if you guys have not done so, definitely go watch those little clips. I believe it's on YouTube, and it's very fun and entertaining to watch. But anywho, another thing that also happened. This is something I wanted to talk about last week, but obviously I ran out of time. There is this little it's basically a moment where some people have like theories, speculations, and all of that, and I get it. Like it's not my place to put more fire into that flame, but with recent things that was happening with P Diddy with his ex-girlfriend Cassie, I was like, we need to talk about this. Supposedly, if you guys do not know, if you guys were born in the 90s, I was born in the 90s, but I didn't have a conscience until the early 2000s. So it was, for those that do not know, the iconic moment where Tupac was unfortunately murdered. And to this, supposedly from now, not a lot of people knew who was the one that killed Tupac. And the theory was maybe too, people still believe that Tupac is alive, this and that. But nobody was trying to figure out who actually did it. And supposedly there was news that they did arrest a suspect in links to Tupac's murder. And now they're saying that the suspect is saying that he got paid to kill Tupac. However, he also did say that the person that put a hit on Tupac was Diddy himself. And the reason why I'm talking about this too is because I remember listening to Eminem's song Kill Shot, and he mentioned something like about that, and everybody saying, bro, like Eminem was real, like for that, and other people even more. Like I think everybody's saying that everybody in the music industry knew about that, and I'm just like, what? So I don't know if this is true. I don't know if this is again for entertainment purposes, God knows what, but it's something I wanted to talk about. And now with everything that's happening, like with Diddy and Cassie, I'm over here like, oh, like, I don't know what to say about Diddy. I know he made that one song with to feature in the Godzilla movie from the 90s, like the really bad Godzilla, but I'm like, damn, Diddy really? Tupac, I don't know. I listened to Tupac, when I was growing up because of my brother. My brother listened to him a lot. It's just sad and unfortunate how things happen like that, and not only with just Tupac, but with Notorious B.I.G. too, and that's something that Diddy also did a song for. So it's like, what is going on? I don't know if this is gonna, again, it's gonna go into light if Diddy's gonna admit to it, but pretty sure it's not. And they're probably not gonna do anything about it. Who knows? Because we'll see. But that's something you guys might want to probably look into. I haven't, because again, but I'm like, let me say it here for now. And speaking of Eminem, I also did not know that Homeboy actually released a line of Mon Spaghetti. Like, I thought this was a prank. I'm over here like, is it April? It's not April. This was announced in October, and I'm barely finding out on social media that he released a line of, get your own taste of Mon Spaghetti. Literally, when I was reading about it, my knees were weak and my arms were heavy, so I don't know how to feel about that. But anywho, that's a lot of things that I talked about pop culture. Now I gotta talk about wrestling. And I say this with passion because wrestling got entertaining, especially with WWE. For example, like right now, or not right now, on Monday, Drew McIntyre, for example, Homeboy literally went heel. This is not the first time we've seen him heel. We've seen him heel like before in many years. I want to say it was 10 years ago when he was still young, fresh from the company, kind of like with Cody Rhodes. Now he wants to talk about the truth, and he has good reasons to be heel, obviously, because everybody that is supporting Jey Uso is now like his target, because he will not forget the betrayal that he got from Jey when he was a part of the bloodline. And again, the bloodline is a villain factor. So it's like he has good reasons to be a heel, and it's very understandable. But he feels like everybody that he thought was his friend turned their backs against him and now are supporting Jey, who is, again, separated from the bloodline. So it's like, it would be an interesting story to see now that he's in Raw. If he was in SmackDown, he's considered like, babyface, a good guy, because again, he is out for the bloodline. That's another storyline that needs to be settled. But I hope they don't prolong it so far, because then it's like, oh yeah, remember when? No, it's better to have it fresh now. And since Jey and Drew are both in Raw, that's something to create on tension and probably pursue it all the way to WrestleMania. A lot of people are now starting to plan a bunch of WrestleMania moments, and like CM Punk is in there, Cody Rhodes is in there, and we gotta talk about that too. But before I get ahead of myself, let me talk about CM Punk. But yeah, that's with Drew. Now with CM Punk, literally Adam Pearce tells Seth Rollins that he will try his best to get CM Punk signed into Raw. For those that do not know, in my last episode I mentioned that Randy Orton signed into Raw. So now it's like CM Punk is the only free agent as we speak. Or maybe I don't know if our truth is already considered, but we'll see. But so he's trying to get him into to sign a raw contract, and then after that, if he does, he will have him go up against Seth for the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. With that being said, CM Punk also did announce on this past Friday, on Friday Night SmackDown, that he is gonna just compare the contracts. Obviously, he was in SmackDown yesterday to see what Nick Aldis has to offer. Adam Pearce already gave the offer to CM Punk of what, again, what he's offering. But CM Punk also mentioned that he was going to be in NXT to see what Shawn Michaels has to offer. And so with that being said, yesterday on Sunday literally was just like a bunch of reunions for CM Punk. One of them was Kevin Owens, who he claims, CM Punk claims that is his identical character. He's over there asking Kevin Owens, like, oh, have you seen Nick Aldis' office? And Kevin is like, no, like that. And it's like, it's a ticking time bomb. And some people are also comparing Kevin Owens, like, like probably something that CM Punk might be interested in fighting, because we have seen Kevin Owens team up with the Young Bucks, but that's like a whole, separate thing. But not only that, we also got to see CM Punk getting the contract from Nick Aldis, with the offer, and again, he's reading over it. And once Nick Aldis leaves, Cody Rhodes comes in, and it's like interesting, like, because he's telling him, is like, you also have a story to finish. I also have a story to finish. In order for you to finish your story, you have to enter into the Royal Rumble. And I'm like, yeah, that's interesting. But however, I feel like this might not happen because, again, WrestleMania is probably going to have the same thing how we have in the previous year since the pandemic, where they split it into 2 nights, where we will have one on Saturday and the other one on Sunday. So, and one person did say, it's like, just split it, have Cody main event one, have CM Punk main event the other. But then again, I'm like, that's just favoritism, because if you think about it, there's so many other wrestlers that have been, trying to get their careers to that level and want to main event WrestleMania. Obviously, we have Drew McIntyre trying to be involved, but again, it feels like he's going up against with Jey Uso. The Judgment Day has been doing a lot to put a name on themselves, and they have been doing a great job on it, and there's more tension happening on there, but there is possibility they could main event. What you call it, Damian Priest is the one that still has the Money in the Bank briefcase. So it's like, there's so much potential on there. I don't feel like Cody or CM Punk are the ones that should be main eventing. We have more other people that could be there in that level. But anywho, besides that, we are also seeing that yesterday was NXT Deadline. Two notorious things happened on that pay-per-view, and one of them was Rey Mysterio coming out to address Dominic Mysterio, because he was going up against, I want to say, Wesley, if I'm not mistaken, but I think he got injured, he couldn't wrestle, so now it's like, who's gonna go up against Dominic? Rey Mysterio comes out on the screen saying, hey, I believe in this one guy that can go up against my son, and that is Dragon Lee. Dragon Lee came out and actually defeated Dominic Mysterio for the NXT North American Champion. And with that being said, Dominic is now questioning the Judgment Day. And this is why I'm telling you, Judgment Day is in the brink of collapse, because Dominic feels like he is also a great wrestler. He shouldn't be losing his championship. But he had no support, by the way. And so with him losing, it's like, are we going back to downhill again? So we will see what's going to happen in Raw. And not only that, CM Punk actually showed up to, address the NXT universe. A lot of people do also want him to sign up on NXT. Well, yeah, on Friday, everybody from there on SmackDown wanting him to sign on SmackDown. But my best guess, it will happen in Raw. I do believe he's going to go sign into Raw, but that's my opinion. But anywho, Homeboy shows up in a Bret Hart hoodie, all pink and everything. Shawn Michaels shows up. It's like, nice hoodie. And CM Punk's like, oh, this, I forgot my HBK merch and this and that. It's like, but there's nothing wrong. It's like, y'all settle y'all's differences. And he said same thing with him with Triple H, and I'm like, oh, what am I missing over here? But same thing. He went to address the NXT universe, trying to figure out if he is willing to sign there. But again, I don't see that possibility. But one of the things that I did see is that Cora Jade came back to put the women's locker room on notice. And when people saw Cora Jade and saw CM Punk not too long ago, it's like, wait a second, are we getting our full circle moment? And what I mean by that, for those that do not know, Cora Jade, a few years back, and I want to say this was either before or after CM Punk left WWE, Cora Jade literally went in Chicago to meet with CM Punk. She idolized him as a teenager, and her dad was with her when that was happening. And she's over there like seeing CM Punk sign the thing like that she gave him, and you can see in the camera she's crying, and they give her like they give each other a hug, and Cora's dad is like telling him, like, CM Punk, like, she idolizes you, thank you so much for being a good figure for her, this and that. So because of that, now we go back to the present. Cora Jade is back, and again, I'm like, are we gonna see that reunion that we've been wanting? And we did. It's actually up in WWE, and I want to say NXT's social media, where they're doing like Cora Jade is doing an interview backstage, and CM Punk comes in and is like, oh, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I just want to tell Cora, like, we're proud. She said we're proud of you, like him and April, AJ Lee. They're saying like, we're proud of you, this is your house, whether they love you or hate you, embrace it, this and that. And I'm just like, you're making me cry. Cora's telling him, you're gonna make me cry. And I'm just like, oh. And I'm like, I cannot wait to make, like, she makes him even prouder if she does become NXT Women's Champion. I'm not a big fan of her character, but that's the thing, that's what they do, is whether you love them or you hate them, they're there to get your engagement. Now, if she does become NXT Champion, I mean, for me, honestly, I think it's well overdue. It will happen. I feel like I need to see another CM Punk and her reunion. But with that being said, that basically wraps up what I have to say on pop culture. I hope you guys did enjoy this whole recap of what's been happening. It's been a crazy week of moments, and I'm there's so much more that I still needed to say, but you know what? We're gonna have to push it for another episode, and it's good because we'll still keep up with what's going on in pop culture. As always, again, like I always mention, make sure to follow me on my social media accounts at It's Lielers on Instagram, Threads, and X, and follow me at Lielers on TikTok. Again, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will talk to you guys on the next one.